I think about 24/7. But I want you to know it's not something that I always thought about. I always had a great business. I had been in the business for a long time, and I was always a great seller, but I was never a great recruiter. And things changed for me. It'll be 3 years when I went with Jillian Grant to one of her cooking shows. And Jillian always had a ton of bookings and a ton of recruiting leads, and she was circled on it 3 years in a row. And I said, what is she doing? I gotta go with her to one of her shows. She must have the most incredible cooking show. And I went with her that night with a pad and a pen, and I'm like, I'm gonna just really learn so much from her. And really, her show was great, and it was quick, and it was fast, and it was informative. But what I learned that night was it wasn't the greatest show in the world, and I love Jillian to pieces, but what I learned from her that night is her show really isn't about cooking. It's about changing lives. And when I sat in the back of the room that night, I realized that for all those years in the business, I was never selling the right thing. I always had a great show average, and I always, sold a ton of products, but I really wasn't a great recruiter. I was probably recruiting 8 people a year, and it was only those 8 because that's what you used to need to earn the top level incentive trip. And it was always like December 10th, and I was, going crazy trying to find that last, 7th or 8th recruit to earn the incentive trip. And when I sat there at her show, I realized that I never was selling the right thing. When I listened to her, I realized that she had such a passion and love and an excitement for this business. And I said, God, I love what I do. Why aren't I telling everyone about it? And I don't even know why it wasn't. It wasn't that I didn't love it. I just wasn't talking about it. And from that moment on, I didn't really change my show, but I just, changed a little bit in the beginning on the opening, a couple of lines. But at the end, and I used to play the ticket game, but I never talked about it with passion and excitement. I just always list the benefits. Yeah, you can earn trips, and you're going to make great money, and whatever incentives. But I never had that passion. And I always say, you can sell someone a bar can by listing the benefits, but you can't sell someone a business by just telling them what it can do for you. You have to speak from your heart. So really, the first thing that changed for me is I went back and I revisited why I love this business. And I started, because I had 2 little kids at home and I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And I thought back to what this business has done for my family. And I said, God, I love what I do. I have to share it with everybody. And I left Jillian's show that night. It was like April 5th. I'll never forget. And that month, I signed 9 people. And I hadn't signed 9 people in a year, let alone in 30 days or 25 days, whatever it was. And it was simply because I was sharing how much I love this business. And the best advice that I can give to you is you have to dig deep down in your heart and remember why you started. And you have to share that with everybody. Whether you're brand new or whether you've been here for a really long time, we all started for a reason. And it might be for money, it might be for the products, whatever it is, you have to tell everybody. And I always say, at every single show, there is at least one person that probably, in today's day and age, probably 3 people, that will lay in bed the night before wondering how they were ever going to pay their mortgage, how they were ever going to get out of credit card debt, how they were going to send their kids to summer camp or baseball camp. And when they showed up at your show, you have the ability to change lives. That's what this business does. It's about changing lives. I always say, people ask me all the time, what's your favorite product? My favorite product is the business opportunity. Because at the end of the day, that's what changes lives. They can buy as many products as they want, and our products are great, but that's not going to change their life. Yes, it'll make them a better cook, but it's not going to change their life. It's not going to help their family. It's not going to put dinner on the table if they can't afford it before they met you. So this business is life-changing. And shame on any of you for not offering it. I always say to my team, I'd rather you forget to talk about some of the products if you're running out of time than ever not talk about the business opportunity. Because that is what is life-changing. So when that person comes to your show and you tell them what this business can do for them, it might not seem like a lot of money to some of you, but an extra $500, $800 a month is a mortgage payment to some people. It's truly life-changing. And how dare us not tell them what this business can do for you? And it's the most exciting thing to me when I sign someone And I still tear up when I've talked about it 100 times, but when someone calls you and they say to you, thank you, because of you, we were able to get a new car. We've never had a new car. Because of you, I've been able to stay home and raise my child. You know, that's something that is life-changing. And by not talking about it, you're doing such an injustice to so many people out there. So I challenge all of you to go back and remember why you started. And even if you're brand new, you know, just remember, we sell the business opportunity. It's in the catalog, just like the bar pen is, just like the deep cover baker is. It's in the catalog because we sell it. So get comfortable talking about it. You know, I'm sure if you all go back and revisit your show, maybe you love the mixing shop. Maybe you sell a ton of deep cover bakers. Whatever it is you sell the most of, it's because you have a passion for it. It's because you talk about it. So go find the business in the catalog. It's on the last page if you've never talked about it. And go practice what you're going to say about it. But speak from your heart. The honesty that comes from your heart is something that could never, ever be replaced. Share with them what it's done for you. Tell them the benefits of being a consultant. But tell them what it's done for you and your family, because when they hear it from you and you're speaking from your heart, I have people that say to me all the time, in every single show, I've never met anyone that loves what they do more than you. I can see why you're so successful at this, because listening to you, you have such a passion and a love for this business. And I do, because I know what it's done for me and my family. And even if you're brand new, if you've done one show and you made $150, what did you do with that $150? How did it change your life? I had a consultant recently that called me up and said, I've always wanted a dog. I couldn't afford one. I went and I bought a puppy. That was life-changing for her. So what has that $150 done for you? What has that first $1,200 paycheck done for you and your family? If you share that with people, I promise you, with every single show, there are a ton of people who can't survive today on the salary that they're making or that their husband is making. Like the girls spoke about, these women are working at Target. They're babysitting for $10 an hour. So you have the ability to change lives, but you can only do that if you talk about it. You have to share it with everyone. And don't keep it a secret. When you're out and about, I tell everyone what I do wherever I am. If you have a piece of logo wear, if you don't have it, you know, buy it. There are days, you know, if it's raining and I haven't showered yet and I have a show that night, when I put on my Pampered Chef hat, it's amazing to me. Wherever I go, there's someone that says, oh, you sell Pampered Chef? I love Pampered Chef. It starts conversation. You know, or if I'm in the supermarket and I'm online, I'll always say to the cashier, do you love your job? And she's like, what? But that starts a conversation. Did you ever hear of the Pampered Chef? When I'm in the supermarket and, you know, they're slicing my deli meat, I will say, have you doing this a long time? She's like, yeah, what? And I'm like, do you love your job? And she's like, no. And I tell them what I do. They don't know unless you tell them. When I'm invited to a party, there are so many times that I want to stop and get a bottle of wine. The last thing I want to do is cook something, because that's what I do for a living. But I purposely make something amazing in the trifle bowl. Or I'll make an incredible salad on the bamboo platter. Because when that food comes out, I purposely want everyone to say, who made that? Not because I want them to say, wow, you're amazing, because I want to be able to say, have you ever heard of the Pampered Chef? When I go to any party, I always leave with either a booking or a recruit lead, because it starts conversation. But people don't know what you do unless you tell them. Don't keep it a secret. I always say if there was a great sale, you would tell all of your friends. If you found a great restaurant, you would share it with them. Be proud of what you do. Be excited about what you do. And tell everybody. And when you do, you're going to see everybody is going to want to do what you do. I always thought that Jillian had a ton of shows because she did an incredible show. Jillian had a ton of shows because Jillian loved what she did and she was so excited and so passionate. People want to be around people that are happy and love what they do. Most of the world is miserable. So when you go to your show and you're happy and excited, I've never had more bookings than I have since I started recruiting, because they go together. When you're excited and love your job, everybody wants to be around people that love what they do. And everyone's like, you know what? I've never met anyone that loves what they do more than you. I've never wanted to have one of these home parties. I've certainly never wanted to sell anything like this, but I'm going to book a show with you and I'm going to take some information on the business. So great things will happen if you fall in love with your job. Does anyone have any questions?
Who recruited you?
That was a